As much as Vader tried to forget his past, most of the time he was unsuccessful. And this time he remembered a point of his life where he was so frustrated it took all of his might to not react. It was the horrible time when Mace Windu suggested that young Anakin take a seat. And this story showcases how frustrated was Vader with his past in actuality. This story begins with the Empire closing in on insurgents, but the problem, however, was that their base was sitting atop stores of coaxium that the Empire needed. However, Governor R's order to stop firing was not even considered by Darth Vader, who didn't even pay attention to the order and completely demolished the insurgents together with the coaxium the Empire needed. But now came time to report to the Emperor. The governor immediately told on Vader that it was his aggressiveness that made him fail the mission to retrieve the coaxium. Vader tried to make excuses, but Palpatine calmly asked, was he aware of the governor's orders, and it was then that Vader fell silent. He didn't even say a word. As Sidious probed even more and humiliated Vader in front of Governor R, Vader silently became more and more angry. The ultimate moment of fire was when he made Vader kneel before him. Sidious was now literally feeling the anger flowing from Vader. If he could, he would explode in a fury right now, but he won't. He can't. At that exact time, Vader was thinking of this unimaginable journey of life he has had. He went right at the beginning. He thought of all his masters in his life, starting from Watto, who used to relish having little Annie down on his knees. Then, who else but Mace Windu, the Jedi Master who always had Anakin's number. Even as a child, he wasn't particularly a fan of Anakin, and as he grew up, Windu disliked and distrusted Anakin even more. Vader remembers the take a seat moment where Windu disrespected him to the max, even though he was now a part of the council. Of course, after this, he remembered what Obi-Wan did to him, and now the same was happening with Palpatine. He hated both of them. But for this moment alone, Windu seems the more interesting part to me. The fact that he remembered this take a seat moment after all this time, thought of all the masters in his life and the horrible things they did or said to him. Of course, this is from his perspective. In some cases, like Obi-Wan and Windu, they weren't bad, but bad in the mind of Vader. But as far as Palpatine, yes. At that point, he quickly realized what he got himself into. So if you didn't watch yesterday's video, I sincerely suggest you do so, because in there we see the horrible methods of how Sidious imposed his will on Vader. And in clear Sith fashion, this happened when Vader ignored a direct order from Governor R and cost the Empire a good amount of coaxium material. Since Vader showed himself to be so brazen, Sidious told Vader that now Governor R was completely in command, and he was in charge of Vader. He was to follow every order to the letter. This is exactly what the Governor wanted. He hated Vader, and it showed. Immediately afterwards, they traveled to Uncrantarium, a planet overrun by renegade droids who had become fierce assassins. With pleasure, the governor sent Vader down there, but the Sith Lord, of course, made quick work of puny droids. The governor couldn't even finish filling his gut before Vader entered the bridge with his lightsaber on, scaring the Imperial to death. After that, while in a massive battle, the governor pulled every trooper from the battlefield and left Vader alone to basically die. But nope. Vader again pulled it off. As hurt as he was, he stood in front of the governor, not relenting one bit. But this Imperial didn't stop there. He chose to move the fleet to an asteroid belt and ordered for Vader to go out alone and destroy the thing that posed the greatest threat. That was the sole order. As Vader maneuvered inside, a large crab monster was laying in the biggest asteroid they've seen, but Vader didn't destroy the crab, but he destroyed the asteroid. Governor R was furious. He ordered Vader to destroy that thing, but no. Vader followed the order to the letter. He destroyed the biggest threat which was the asteroid. Before the governor could even comprehend, the crab destroyed the bridge and grabbed the governor with its claw. In the end, Vader made the governor dig his own grave. He was destroyed by his own orders, and Vader, well, you could say he has learned his lesson. But even with this lesson learned, it gives way to what we always talk about. The relationship between Palpatine and Vader was always a rocky one. Palpatine was always trying to push Darth Vader towards being a more ruthless and prominent Sith. If he ever suspected that there was weakness in his apprentice, he would exploit it immediately, and he used the commander in this story to showcase how smart and powerful Vader could really be. In a sense, you could say Sidious was cruel, but look at to what level he elevated Darth Vader. He was ruthless, and in the end, he got his way. Darth Vader did not use violent tactics in order to kill this Imperial, but used his brain, in parallel with the dark side of the Force. Guys, leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. This was an awesome Vader video, and hit that bell to get notified the moment a new video is out. Have an awesome day, my Star Wars friends, and may the Force be with you always.